So we're calling the meeting to order then at 7:34, okay? And we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? I pledge allegiance
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to America and to the
to
republic,
the republic
for which
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, roll call then, we have Kathy, Ray, and myself. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then the next, we have, I guess, no public participation. I don't know how to do it, but let's go to the minutes then. The minutes of August 18th were attached, and so we'll have a motion to approve those.
Motion to approve minutes as published.
Okay, second is
I'll second it.
okay.
Hallelujah.
Now, all in favor, say aye. All in favor?
Aye.
Say okay, and then the next minutes were the October 13th minutes. I mailed those to you today. Did you get those?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Then we have a motion on to approve those.
Motion to approve those.
Okay, second. Okay, all in favor? I say aye.
Aye.
Kathy,
Aye.
second.
Okay, very
Aye.
good. Okay. Do we have, is the town planner online? Rick, are you online?
Yes, I am, John. I'm present.
Okay. So Rick is there also, okay. Okay, then we can go to the application. Kathy, your concern last time was the dark behind the McDonald's and such. Have you had a chance to review the new elevations that were submitted?
I did not get the new, I think George was going to send it to me and send it to the wrong email address. I only have the ones from October.
That's the only ones I have also.
I didn't.
Is
Okay,
that
then we
right?
didn't get anything new.
Well,
Nope, I didn't get anything new.
No, this is great.
Yeah, Chris, you can put them up.
Yeah, I think George has just got to let me share, give me the ability to share.
Okay, now let's make sure. Did you get a letter? The cover letter today's was dated October 30th.
I never got anything.
Right.
And
Yeah. This letter was October 30th.
I don't have that. Ray, do you have that? Didn't get it.
No, I do not.
okay. Well,
Well, if I may, this is Chris Russo with Russo and Rizzio LLC. I'm the attorney for the applicant.
Yes.
We did submit those. The one charge we had from the last meeting was to return the facade colors back to what we had originally proposed, and so we did that. And that's really it. That I mean, it's probably the shortest presentation ever. Is that we just went back to the same color scheme from our first submission.
well, if there's no objection, I'd like to approve this with the proviso that both Ray and Kathy get to look at these elevations, okay? Obviously, I don't think there's anything we can do right now to get them the elevations. is that agreeable with you, Ray and Kathy?
Yes. I'm looking for the original elevations right now.
Pardon me?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, can
One
Georgia,
person talk at a time now. Okay, Ray, go ahead.
I am looking for the original elevations right now. Because I have the new colors here, and I believe I got the old colors right here also. I've got the original elevations that crossed out.
You have Christopher Russo's the elevations that were attached to his letter dated October 30th, right?
Affirmative.
Okay.
I saved all that stuff.
Yeah. All right. So that's and Kathy, you do not. Is that correct? Kathy?
the only letter I have is September 30, not October 30.
Okay. Okay.
I only have September 30, not October 30.
Okay. I'd like to propose then. I think this is
I have
the third
actually I
meeting.
have something dated.
Well, if Georgia can somehow enable that, I can share my screen, because Kathy seems to have, or Commissioner Lindstrom appears to have the ability to see what's on the screen. I could share it on my screen, but I don't know if Georgia can do that though.
Yep, I'll make you the presenter, Chris. It'll give you the.
Okay. Okay. That's great, Rich. Let's do that. Okay.
Let me. Yeah, I'm gonna share it right now. Okay. Do you see it now? Did this come up?
Okay. So, Chris, the only one that
Yes, I do.
can see it is Kathy, I think. Everyone else is on call only.
Okay. So this is the original color scheme. So still, still the same design as we had at the last meeting, but just, switching back to that original color. So there's the front and non-drive-through elevation. So the frontage that faces Monroe Turnpike, and then here's the other elevations.
And would you mind, because it's very small, could you just name the colors for me?
I can.
Yes, please. If you can't, I can.
Okay, so Cityscape is the that roof feature that we said that we would leave.
So the Cityscape is actually the trellis. I'm sorry.
The trellis, yeah, the trellis.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
the cement panels are called Street Chic for one of them, and then the other one is Light Mist.
So the top one is the top panel around the parapet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can go back and go back. There we go.
Hold on a second. All right, well, the colors that I have printed out, I have dated October 5, and they say the first one is aluminum trellis color Cityscape.
Yep.
And then there's the siding, and then there's the fiber cement,
Right.
hardy trim, aluminum trellis, Euro style, and AEP span.
That's the new one. That's not the old one.
Yeah, that's the new. Yes, I agree. I agree, Chris. Yeah.
Yep, that's new.
All right, so what I have here is the only thing that I see that I agree with, I think, are the Cityscape.
That's same on both.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I have the color board up on the screen right now. So this is the color board for the latest revision.
As of today.
Well, as of
Yep.
it was the 30th that I can't remember, was it the 30th we submitted? But yeah, the latest one. Yeah, as of today, this is our latest.
And this matches the one that we saw originally.
Correct. The
Yes.
color. Yes.
The only thing that would be different is the Nichiha fiber cement panel is a Benjamin Moore color, but that's because we did a color match, so the color should match the previous color, but we've slightly changed the material.
That's just a different brand of paint, basically?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
okay.
color matched it, so it should be the same.
Okay,
And for the record, that's Jennifer Hauser speaking with 7 Solutions.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Who prepared these plans for the applicant.
all right, if they match, it's a little hard to tell, but if, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it matches.
So we went from a nice light color back to the dark color.
This was our latest color scheme, so we went from a dark color to a light color.
Yeah. Yeah, this was our latest version.
Well, Monterey taupe is a heck of a lot darker than gray slate.
Say that again, Ray?
I say Monterey taupe, which is the old color for the side of the building, is a lot darker than gray slate, which was the new color.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. So
Correct.
it's lighter now.
So we're going back to dark from light. We were light. We're going back to dark.
No,
No, we're going from dark to light.
Yeah, no, we're going from dark to light.
Yeah.
It was.
Okay.
It was.
Tell me what was dark and how you went to light, please, from one color scheme to the next. Which color went from dark to light?
I would say all of them.
Oh, really? Well, let's start with the upper left-hand corner and work our way down. Aluminum trellis went from cityscape to cityscape, both the same. The next
Correct.
one down is Cedar Hill Hardy Plank lap siding. Was Monterey taupe, and it went from gray slate back to Monterey taupe, which is a darker color than gray slate. Then we go down one below that. Iron gray is a heck of a lot darker than light mist.
Correct. So our current color is
So
light
we're going
mist.
from light to dark.
No.
How can you say no? I just gave you 3 examples. One was exactly the same, and the other 2 were darker. And now you're telling me no?
Yes, I'm
Please.
telling you now.
I think what
Okay.
he's saying, Jennifer, is the individual color blocks that we see, not overall building, the individual blocks, comparing the original to the latest one, the latest one are darker.
No.
2 of the handouts that were given us at both meetings show McDonald's. The number 1 that we got at the first meeting, which is the color we're going back to, has got a very dark siding on the lower right-hand side. And on the number 2, which we got, was the updated model, which we're leaving, was a nice tan, light-colored side. So either your color diagrams are wrong, or your color diagrams are wrong.
No, the latest one, Jennifer, the fiber cement panel aluminum series is street chic right now. What we're proposing right now.
Well, we don't have that.
That was our.
We don't have that color scheme. If you're proposing that, I do not see it any place on any of our old color schemes.
And neither do I.
But that is the Benjamin. That's the Benjamin Moore version of the original color, and then the fiber cement accent panel is light mist, which was what it was originally.
Affirmative. I go along with that.
I think the problem,
Now, you got this new color. You got this new color scheme for Benjamin Moore, which has got a different name. Tell me what the old name is of the Benjamin Moore new name, and maybe we can talk.
No, it's a different product. So it was a hardy color, a hardy board color. And we switched it to Nichiha, which is still a fiber cement panel. It's just a different brand. So that one is painted, and we did a color match to match the old color, which I believe was slate gray, I think.
Yes, gray slate. You're absolutely correct. So that's what the new color is going to be. Same color as
All right,
that,
so
correct?
It's named something else, but it's a color match, correct?
Thank you.
So in looking at the drawings that I have that I hand wrote on one ARB meeting, October 13th. And then I have one that I put a date on, September 10th. The side of the building, I would call it kind of a tan, not gray. These were, warm tone tan colors. So if I'm confused, it's because I'm looking at something that doesn't gray.
Commissioner, we came in, we had one hearing, and there was the question about leaving the structure that we have on the side. So we had that meeting and we got that feedback. We came back for the second meeting and we had a different color board for that. And
Yes.
so that's why you would have two different color boards from the previous two meetings. But now at this one, we're just proposing to go back to the one we had in the first. So you will have three color schemes. But
Oh, I don't have the third one.
we're essentially going back to the first one. With our third one is going back to match our first one.
Okay.
The color scheme.
So if that is the case, would it be possible for us to approve this as John Colors, Georgia said, contingent on the fact that we stick them in the mail to us, so we can have a hard copy? Just to satisfy, because there's a little confusion.
I couldn't hear everything you said.
That's what John suggested, that we, get.
Okay, look at, Kathy,
What I asked Georgia is,
I can't follow 100% what you're saying. Let me speak here, please. And, but I'm looking at all three of the proposals here, okay? And my notes and such said your number one complaint was the upper behind the McDonald's, the very dark one there, okay? Which now that's number we'll talk about number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, so that has been changed, and it seems to be the same color as was the number 1, the original proposed. Okay. Okay, and
so
is there so can we put that to bed then? That we in the and I think we want to be primarily concerned here with the front street elevation, right? Do you agree with that?
Works for me. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that to the right of that, where the McDonald's sign was, that's over the kitchen area. That was like a medium dark, and now that appears to be perhaps, if depending on the fidelity of these renderings, that appears to be just slightly lighter than the number 1. Okay. Then going.
So
across,
it's the old one was iron gray, John. The new one is what's it called?
What can you help us out, McDonald's?
There's two. There's the street, and then there's the light mist.
Okay, well, now the question is above the kitchen, above the top part of the structure, above the kitchen area, on the front elevation. Okay, and
What's the color?
That would be the chic, the street chic by Benjamin Moore, which used to be slate gray.
mm-hmm. Okay, and
it's
Slate gray or iron gray?
Where do I where do I see that?
So wait, on the original submission, the area where the kitchen was gray slate.
Yes.
Which was the Cedar Hill Hardy plank. What
Yes.
we are proposing now is, hold on one second, let me make sure I say it right. The Benjamin Moore Street sheet.
Correct.
Well, let me ask the question a different way. Let me ask the
Okay.
question a different way. Will there no longer be any color called iron gray or anything similar to that?
No, it's no longer called slate gray because that was a different type of panel. It's street chic now, so there is no color.
We don't have anything called slate gray.
That wasn't the question.
The problem is we don't have anything that says slate gray.
Gray
We only
slate.
have
And number 2
iron
we do.
gray. So if you're
There's
saying
no color on this proposal that's gray slate.
okay, all right.
Okay, where, on number 3, proposal number 3, where do I see that color on page 3 of that?
I'm not. Can you clarify where you're talking about?
He's talking about the McDonald's sign. Go to the right, and there's a dark color. What's it called?
Above the top panel, what's it called?
Around the entire top of the building is street chic. Everything above the metal.
Okay, I have a question. No, please, and let's try and not talk over everybody else. Where do I see on proposal 3, sheet 3? Where do I see that color?
A color swatch, you mean?
I'm asking. This is for McDonald's.
Right. Jennifer, on our latest proposal, where is street chic located?
Those are the vertical panels above the trellis and above the metal roof that go around the entire building.
Jennifer,
Yes?
I have a proposal with 3 pages here. The last page is titled Color Scheme. Where do I see that in the color scheme?
It'll be on the left-hand side of the page, the middle square.
Yeah, it starts with Huff Fiber Cement Panel Illumination Series, Benjamin Moore Street Chic CSP-40.
Okay. So that's the color. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. And that is compared to one. It's prior. If the rendering is accurate, it's slightly lighter. Okay. Okay. And we move to the one then below that. Okay. What is that?
Light
Okay.
mist.
That's light mist. Jennifer, where is light mist located on the elevation?
That is all the siding you see underneath the trellis
I see.
that wraps around the building. So that's the
Okay.
horizontal striped areas.
Yeah. And that appears is considerably lighter than proposal number 2, and it's slightly lighter again compared to proposal number 1. Okay. Okay.
Well, actually, I think in proposal number 1, that's the exact same color.
It is. Okay. Okay. That's good. Okay. It's just okay. So that's the same. Okay, Kathy. So now we have the area above the restaurant area. We have the area above the kitchen, and we have the area below that. Okay. Are you satisfied with those?
Who are you talking to,
I'm
John?
trusting that your judgment is fine, John. Yes.
Yeah, yes, you said?
Yes, from Ray.
I'm
Yeah,
trusting that
okay.
your eyes are not playing tricks on you. So yes.
Okay. Okay. Is there any, do we have any concerns on the street facing elevation?
Hey guys, so sorry I'm tuning in late. I had a previous Zoom meeting to attend. I know this is mainly a planning and zoning question really, but my concern on the street elevation compared to also the entry elevation is that we're essentially going to be having 4 signs on this building. You have you have the McDonald's one that's going to be on the street side, then you're having the small M arches. And then also on the main elevation, the front one, you're gonna have that same duplicate idea going on. And the idea that this structure is kind of gonna be reading as though it's a box with the applied roof it's actually pretty bothersome to me. I don't know how you guys feel about it. But there's something that's really like artistic about how it is now with the 2 different roof lines that are coming together, and it's not reading as though it's a box.
Deandra, I also brought up the question of too many signs at the last meeting. So
Yeah.
that was a concern of mine too. So I'm not sure if we're ready to get to there yet, but I agree with you.
We, listen, we'll make a comment in our report on the number of signs, okay, Kathy? Okay, so can we put that to bed? Okay, now what was the previous comment was made McDonald's, right? And what is the concern there?
Well, on the street elevation, what you're having is you're no longer having those nice 2 sort of pitched roofs that are coming together. What it's going to be reading as is this box with an applied roof that's on it. And there's some sort of communication that's happening between the 2 buildings that are across the street that's actually very nice. You have these gable ends that are reading, and in this proposed elevation, that's completely taken away. What McDonald's proposed originally with those white arches that are on the building now, it's artistic, it's fluid. There's just something about it that's very warm. And to me, this is going to read as though it's a straight box with the applied roof line. That's going to read as very fake. And that's my concern with it. So it's not reading as a roof line.
What you're saying, what you're proposing, if I understand you, this is John Rosen speaking. What you're proposing, if I understand you, is a modification to your proposal.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah,
No?
that modification to that box that's coming through. I'm not so concerned about if we're looking at the drive-through
Yep.
elevation. I'm not concerned about that right-hand side. What my concern is more so the left-hand side that's going to be above that eat-in dining area, where it's going to read as a box and it's going to be taller than it is now. So you're going to read this very vertical.
There's no change to the building. There's no change to the roof lines of the building. It's just a partial removal of one of the features there, which is what we had agreed to at the last ARB hearing. The only thing we were charged with at the last ARB hearing was to go back to the original color scheme, which is what we proposed today.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, so what I hear is that the proposal that we have in hand, number 3, is not what McDonald's wants now.
No,
correct?
no, that's not being proposed. What number 3 is what McDonald's is proposing. I think this is coming from, sorry, Commissioner, I don't know your last name, but that's not, McDonald's wants to come with number 3. That's a commissioner who's making that comment.
Who's making that comment?
Rick, this is Deandra on the line. I know that
Deandra.
you don't have the computer. Yep.
Who is making the comment?
This is Deandra.
And you are who?
I'm part of the ARB.
Who are you? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I understand. Okay. 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 So what? And restate the comment again. Here.
Sure. So my concern with that elevation is that the building is almost going to be reading larger than it is now. There's two sort of pitched roofs that are coming together on the current McDonald's. And the way that is it's fluid and it reads kind of small versus now you're going to be adding this vertical element. Let me see what siding it's actually going to end up being.
You know,
In front and the street side.
yeah.
I think that's going to end up being the metal siding that you guys are calling out there. So it's going to be the metal vertical siding that's coming up, and it's going to be very cold and harsh, in my opinion.
Okay. And if you were, we're not designing this for McDonald's, but if you were to make a suggestion, what would this suggestion be?
I would suggest that instead of them making it a vertical element that's reading as a wall with a flat roof, that they incorporate something similar that's there. They can keep the same color scheme that they're having with like a slightly lower pitched roof as to what's there now.
Well, we had agreed on the basic, the roof and everything, the last meeting. So, which I realize you didn't participate in, and so. How firm are you in?
Do you lose them?
John, you still there?
Yeah. Look at do you have video, or do you have the or you're working off the paper copies, or what?
Nope, I have the video.
Okay, and the video. I don't have the video. I don't know what we're looking at. But do we have the video up with the elevations on it?
Sure, I can put that up. Hold on 1 second. Let me see here. All right, I'm gonna share it right now. Okay. You should see it now.
Okay. Who's on video? Can you just give me a roll call of who's on video? Who can see that?
Kathy is on video.
Deandra's on video.
Okay. 2 people are on video. Ray, you're not on video.
That's correct.
And I'm not on video. I couldn't connect. So okay. Now, can we McDonald's? Can you explain that part of the construction? What it is, give us all the detail you can.
Well,
Sure.
I'll just step in, Jennifer, just real quick, and just say that we had originally come in with a plan where we.
No. I want hold it. I want McDonald's to explain this to me.
Yeah, well, well, I'm Chris Russo. I'm the attorney for McDonald's, and
I understand that, Chris. Can we
Okay.
just,
This is Jennifer. I'm actually the architect for McDonald's. I'm not with McDonald's company. I did the drawings for them based on their design
Mhm.
direction.
mhm,
We came in with our typical design where we had a mansard around, not a mansard, I'm sorry, a parapet around the entire building. You guys expressed a desire for us to put a sloped roof or a gabled roof. That is really not possible with this construction without a major renovation, like take apart the building and restructure the whole thing. And McDonald's is not going to do that. So we came up with a modified version or a compromise where we leave the lower part of the mansard where it exists and then build our parapet up around the rest of the building.
mhm.
And that provides us with a minimal structural change. If we were to try to put a full gable on there, it's not really possible without major structural work. So we're
Okay.
basically, our intent in this project was mostly to reclad the building, just give it a freshen up look, not tear the whole thing apart and rebuild it.
Mhm. Now, okay, now help me out here. The material on that part of the building is what?
At the top part,
Yes.
that is Nichi-Ha panels. They'll look like sort of an EFIS or fiber cement panel. They're smooth, like siding, but they're larger than siding. I forget their dimensions. I think they're 17 inches wide.
Mhm. Mhm. Now, on number 2, you had the McDonald's sign on that part of the building.
Yeah, they did. McDonald's did direct me to relocate signs and move them around a little bit. I think that's something that we can go back and, work through.
Deandra, would that help?
I mean, I think my issue here is that I understand about not obviously making it a complete structural roof and making it read as though it were, a hipped roof in this scenario. I guess that's not in the case of what I'm looking for. So to clarify, what my concern is you have these edges of the roof. Guys, I'm looking at, let's see, what number is this? So number 1 and number 2 on sheet A200. So when you're
Mhm.
looking at that, those vertical elevations are going to be straight walls, and they're going to be hiding the condensers that are sort of behind that, which
Mhm.
I like the fact that they're hiding the mechanicals, but what you have now is a pitched roof. So that's going back and sitting more into, like, it wouldn't be reading as a wall. It's going to be reading as more as a roof. Whereas now it's just a vertical wall that's coming through with this break of a applied roof.
Correct.
Is that correct?
yes. And that was the direction we got at the last hearing regarding this elevation. I'd also say that this is directly across from the urgent care, and the urgent care has a flat roof with this well, I guess what is called here a standing seam roof line. That's exactly what it has.
I wouldn't say it would be the same. It's going to be reading different than the urgent care, because the urgent care actually has a shingle roof that's wrapping and tying through it. This is just going to be a small little, it'll probably have like what, an 18-inch overhang, if I had to guess on that. Maybe 12-inch overhang on that.
I'm not certain. I don't remember. I think it varies depending on what's going on below it.
trim poles.
Yeah.
Basically, it's what's there now. We just took off the top part of the mansard. That we left intact the mansard below, the bottom portion of the mansard.
Mhm.
And sort of where it bends is where we put the parapet. And part of that was because of the way that's structured.
Mhm.
Yeah, that you're continuing above the exterior walls that are kind of below it.
Did you just change your screen?
Correct.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to show the urgent care across the wall.
Oh, gee.
Now, could we, Deandra, if they move the McDonald's sign back there, I'm looking at all three proposals. 1 and 2 had the McDonald's sign in that area, and it looks, I don't know, in proposal 3, it looks to me kind of unbalanced or something. Would that help? Could we go with that? Would you go with that?
I don't have the previous proposals in front of me.
Well, the McDonald's sign, the letters would be there on that zone, as opposed to where it is now above the kitchen. And the first 2 proposals had that, and I thought it gives it much more, to me, it gives a much more balanced approach, and it would address somewhat to your concern of this large bike area.
Right. So move the McDonald's that's right here on this Monroe Turnpike frontage and move it right next to the M.
Oh, center it.
Right.
Yeah, center it.
Right.
Is it possible to do that on the computer right now?
I don't think I could do that on the computer, no.
All right, then don't go. What do you think? Can you live with that, Andrew?
It would absolutely give it more of a function than reading as though it were just a wall.
Mm-hmm. So,
And then the question is whether it will be the arches or whether it will be the word McDonald's.
Right.
well, let's take one thing at a time here now. Okay, so let's say we move that up there. Let's say we can agree to that. Now, what's this business about the arches?
I think the business about the arches is, from like our standpoint, you're gonna have the arches that are on the road.
Illustration that we see right now on my screen.
Excuse me, could McDonald's explain what's this theory business about the arches? What do we want? Where do arches come in? I don't see any arches on the proposal.
Are you speaking of the M,
The M, the double arch?
yeah, the McDonald's M? Is that what you're referencing?
Yes.
Yes.
Those are, that's signage, McDonald's logo.
Yeah. All right, I'm not getting the answer that I need here. Step 1, we've agreed on the colors on the elevation. Okay, we've moved the McDonald's to the area above the restaurant. Okay, somebody talking about arches. What is the story about arches? I'd like this from McDonald's, please.
Those are, it's the signage with the golden arches, the M, it's their logo, and they like to put that on their buildings for advertising so people know it's a McDonald's.
Yes. Okay, that's not on this proposal then, right? Yes or no?
Yes, it is. It's on the
Where is
latest elevations. It's on the front elevation on the upper left-hand corner, and then it's on the non-drive-through side on the upper left-hand corner as well.
Okay.
I don't have it on any of
Too
mine.
many M's.
I don't have the front elevations here.
So you're gonna have the logo and then the word McDonald's?
That is the desire.
That's
Right.
overkill.
Does anybody?
And then you have the M elsewhere also. It's a few too many signs, as DeAndre
Yes, that's overkill.
said.
Right.
What would you guys like to see? I mean, I think that is a point that McDonald's is, we can work with them on that to reduce the signage.
Good. Well, I like to see the logo on one side of the building and the word McDonald's on the other side, one of each.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think. You see, well,
We can do that.
don't see that on any of the proposals, and I don't have, for whatever the reason here, and I don't have the. Oh, I do. It's not on there. Okay. Okay. We want to do our due diligence. Okay. We're volunteers, but we have a job to do. Okay.
Good.
And therefore, I'd like us to say, let's give us some new elevations. With the McDonald's, the street side elevation, the McDonald's moved up to over the restaurant, and then on the front elevation, which I see that, not see that. If you want to propose on the front elevation, reasonable arches, and propose that. Okay. Now I'm going to ask my board. Can you agree with that? We'll get another set of elevations here. We have to have the elevations that are final. What it's going to be. There's no room for that. So let's get a new set of elevations with on it. What is your reaction on the board? Start with you, Ray. Ray?
Yes. I'd say go get those elevations. Let's see where the McDonald's falls. Let's see where the word McDonald's falls, and let's see what the whole thing looks like when it's finished now.
Okay. And do we agree? We've agreed with the colors now. Okay. The colors is no longer an issue.
I mean,
And,
Chairman, if we're gonna agree to the design and the colors, can't we just agree to, if the commission sees fit, to approve it with the condition that we have the McDonald's Arches logo on the front elevation, and then McDonald's typeface on the non-drive-through elevation that faces Monroe Turnpike without the logo on that side?
Yeah. Well,
That works for me.
Yeah, I think we can agree that, but I want the elevations. I don't think that's a burden, at all. And I think it's just plain good business that we have a copy with the elevations. So can we get a new set of elevations, and then let's just want to make sure that our board were in a position then to make a recommendation upon receipt of your new set of elevations. Deandra, can you live with that?
Yeah, I'd like to see updated set elevations.
Yeah. and Kathy.
Yes,
Okay. Okay. So if we can have them tomorrow, fine. If there's no thing, we will not necessarily schedule another meeting. Okay? Can we all agree to that?
Yes.
Yes.
So if I understand, if we correct it,
Anybody disagree with that?
can I ask one question? As long as, yes, but I would also like to see, to avoid any question about the name or the material or the colors, just, we can look at it online and then we'll have no questions at all.
Yeah. All right. All right. Do you understand that,
Thank you.
McDonald? Do you understand that?
She was breaking up a little bit. I'm not sure. What did you want to see?
Yeah. I'm not, okay.
She wants a rendering with the full color scheme.
Just the color schemes,
Yeah.
just to
What do you
clarify.
mean by-
Yep.
What do you mean by color scheme? Expand what you want, Kathy.
She wants everything we discussed at the beginning of the meeting. She wants the colors on the side of the building the way they will be depicted.
Well, don't we have that now in proposal 3?
Yep.
Yes? No.
Some of us
no.
don't have proposal 3, John.
Yeah,
We
she
don't
doesn't
have
have
proposal 3, that's the problem.
Okay. So what we look at, then we want McDonald's and come on now, let's be reasonable. This isn't any burden for you. We want you to do proposal 3 with the colors, which unfortunately Kathy doesn't have, and Kathy
And Ray doesn't have.
and Ray doesn't have, and moving the McDonald's sign to above the restaurant, and what's your proposal on the front elevation is with the golden arch. Okay, so we want a completely cleaned up proposal again, and we want it on paper. Okay. Agreed?
and there's going to be another hearing on.
Not necessarily. If you do your job, I think we can move forward. Okay. Okay.
It's just very hard to be clear between the microphones breaking up and not all of us having the information in front of us. This will just ensure that we know what we're getting, that's all.
Yeah, and face it now, gang, here, this remote meeting is a challenge. Okay, and we've overcome it. So let's get that proposal in. Let's have it this week if we can. And if there's anything more we need, we'll get back to you, Chris. Okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Everybody's okay. So McDonald's people, you can sign off, and we have some other business to attend.
Okay, great. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Thanks.
And Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Stay well.